Good evening from Tacoma Public Library. My name's Michelle Macero, and I'm pleased to be introducing tonight's program. Tacoma Refugee Choir began as a pilot project in August of 2016 in partnership with Tacoma Community House, a group of 22 refugees and community members. The program was well received and quickly grew to create a welcoming and affirmative learning experience for over 600 participants from 52 nations, along with diverse members from the United States. You might think with COVID's impact that the refugee choir might be on hold. Not at all. Under the leadership of choir director Erin Guinup, they are still active and vital in our Tacoma community, meeting and singing together weekly via Zoom. It's my great pleasure now to welcome Erin, who will be introducing our panelists for this evening to discuss hope, love, music, and how we can come together to heal and change our community. It's great to have you with us tonight, Erin.
Thank you so much for having us with you tonight. We are delighted to be part of Tacoma Reads and talking about immigration and hope and love and music. I'm excited to be joined tonight by three members of the choir. I'd like to first introduce Kimsang Lor. We've got Kimsang here, and we've got Thierry Ruboneka and Maurice Lakia. We are excited to be part of tonight's event, but before we hear from our choir members, we want to start with a video so that you can see all the members of our choir, all the members of this community. And we're going to share a song called Everyone Has a Song. It's one of the first songs that we recorded. And what I love about this song is there's some really beautiful sentiments, but one of them says, it's hard not to love people when you sing together. So let's use our voice to make the world better. Here it is. It's so great to see our choir family. We miss singing with them in person, but we are so grateful that the technology allows us to stay connected. So what I'd like to do is have our three panelists tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to be in Tacoma. So let's start with Kimsang.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me. I came to Tacoma way back in like 1985. My family and I actually came over from Cambodia. We immigrated from Cambodia because we were kind of avoiding the war, the Khmer Rouge War. So we came to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we're blessed to be sponsored by a Christian family out in Albuquerque, New Mexico. But we're like only one of like 3 families from Cambodia in all of New Mexico, I think. And we had heard that there was a pretty good sized Cambodian or Khmer community out here in Tacoma, Washington. So we stayed in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico for about a year. And then we moved to Tacoma, Washington. And yeah, this is where my roots are. So I'm a Tacoma boy for most of my life. So thank you so much.
And Thierry.
Hi everyone. My name is Thierry Ruboneka. I am born Congolese, raised in Uganda as a refugee for 16 years before I moved to United States. I ended up in Tacoma as like I think a true calling. I think it's just been a city that called out for me. We were supposed to be resettled in Canada, where most of my family members were resettled after the Congolese War in 1994. But due to my mom's health and the friends that I'd met up in Uganda, they helped us resettle here. And a beautiful family helped me to bring my mom over, who's Kathleen and Joe Miller. They helped me bring my mom here and stayed with her for a few months before I and my family moved here for her health reasons. And then after that, we just kind of came here and made a home. And it's been amazing after that, just been one family after the other. Now I'm in a huge family as Tacoma Refugee Choir. So yeah.
Fabulous. Great. And Maurice.
You're muted. Okay. Hi, I'm Maurice Lakia. I'm also from the Republic Democratic of the Congo, which used to be Zaire, now it's Congo. So I came here in 2000. So I've been living here ever since the Washington state has been my only state. So I've been here with, raising 5 children. We came later. So we came also for the political reasons in the Congo. So I have moved around a lot around the area. I lived in Kent, Federal Way, and then I went to Seattle because I wanted my kids to be in the different schools, different activities. Then finally the what do you call it, the home expense started becoming very heavy for me to bear with having kids, boys and girls. So we moved south because we thought south was it was a little cheaper at that time. And Tacoma was not really the love. I didn't know because I loved Seattle so much. Then when we moved here, little by little, I started opening my eyes. I said, this is a beautiful city. Why did I didn't hate it, but I was not really, I didn't care much about it. But now I don't want to go back to Seattle. I really love what I see here, the landscape, the environment, and overall people that I have met here. They became a second family to me. I would say just a family to me. It's unbelievable. I can talk about this the whole night long. You will get tired of that. So.
Maurice, I'm not tired of that, but I've heard you talk often about how the choir has been a family for you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, because I'm a very reserved person, quiet, I can be loud when I'm in people that family, friends, and I can be goofy, everything. But in general, I'm very quiet, and I've never been involved in any any group, any movement, except going to church and in also Congolese community sometime get together in the celebrations as their birthdays also. So I came across this group, the wonderful Tacoma Refugee Choir in 2019 after my immigration case was finally settled by the court that now I'm allowed to stay here. I was called by the NERP, which is Northwest Immigrant Right Project. They are the one who helped me to win my case. And they invited me to, to be a guest speaker at the fundraising event. And Erin happened to be there. So after I spoke for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, she came to ask me, do you want to join the choir? And I said, what is that? So first of all, I don't know how to sing. I don't sing. I sing when I'm driving or when I'm home alone. I can sing because no one hears me except my kids. But they said, no, you don't have to be a singer. I said, okay. Then I didn't come. They invited me Tuesday to come. I didn't come. And then 2 weeks later, they kept, texting me kindly, would you like just to come visit? So finally, I decided to visit. It was, I think, September 2019. Is that right? So I came at first, I said, that seems good, but I'm still skeptical. Then the next week I came again. So the love I have from the day one and the love I have the second time, it was no longer, it's not a fake, it's something real. People felt like they haven't known me a long time ago. And so I kept coming and coming. And then finally I found that this is so interesting. Instead of staying home in the evening after work, this is the place I should be spending time connecting with people. So I met so wonderful people. I can, Kimsang and Erin and on and on. So it became for me, it's no longer about singing because it's about developing that friendship, the love, international love. Erin knows how much I care about love and being involved in a community. For me, it means a lot. It means a lot. So choir made me feel like now I'm a human. I can speak. I can, say what I have to say. So they give me the open door.
I love that. Thank you, Maurice.
You're welcome.
Thierry, can you add to that about why feeling loved and welcomed is important? Especially, I think you're the newest in the United States on this panel today. You've been here since 2016. Why does what impact does love and welcoming have on you and your ability to live in our community?
I mean, you can just hear the way Maurice talks about joining a community that welcomed him and gave him the love, and that opened up a door for him to speak out, to feel free to speak. Like it's I don't even know what words I can describe how welcoming someone in a new community and how finding that first step to feel comfortable in a community of people that love you and welcome you and offer you that friendship and support that you did not think you can find in a new place that you moved into. Just that first step gives you that much courage and ability to express yourself and to open up and to explore these other opportunities that you might never have thought you would. Like back home, I don't think we have things like where you get to speak. There's a lot of how can I call it, like blocking you from like self-expression. You will not express yourself exactly how you want. If you're talking about the government, you might be stopped or you might be attacked. So there's a lot of that. And then when you come to a new country, you have that fear coming with you. You bring it with you. You don't leave it. So when you come here, you're even more scared. You're like, I don't even know how to speak English. I don't even know how to communicate. I don't even know how to integrate myself in a community. So once you find that community like TRC that opens up with like, hey, icebreaker, let's sing a song from your country. you know, or let's dance, show us your moves from your country. And that icebreaker starts like building that relationship, and that love and care creates the same thing we're talking about, like finding family miles and miles away from home, because you came to United States running away from trouble, problems, maybe so many other things that you just want to forget, but you don't know what you're expecting, where you're going. But then finding that first step and that first group that welcomes you and hugs you as a family and tells you, hey, you're safe, brother, can show us where you've come from. We want to build that love. We want to build that relationship. And this is my friend that came from Cambodia, Kimsang. He wants to connect with you. He wants to know where you're from. He'll show you his food. Like you go out and have like a meal, lunch, dinner, and that's how it helps building communities. And that's how I think human beings we are. We just long for that connection. And once that happens, it's love from there on.
I love that. Thank you. So, Thierry, can you explain to people who may not understand what a refugee is?
Yeah. So a refugee is someone who is running away from his country for different reasons, right? And I would like maybe Maurice to describe for me more if I'm wrong, but I'd like to say just from like Amnesty International's description of a refugee, it says a refugee is a person who has fled their own country because they are at risk of serious human rights violation, persecution, and the risk of their safety and life were so great that they felt that they had no choice but to leave and seek safety outside their country because their own government cannot or will not protect them from those dangers. And that's just a description from Amnesty International and how that they describe a refugee. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's very much the same. So it's someone who is forced to leave his country to escape for many reasons: violence, war, for political reasons, political views, social group, or the religion. Many reasons. So that is why you had to leave and find a different in a home where we call refuge. For us, in our case, the refuge is the United States. So it became our second home because our own home couldn't protect us. It became even dangerous. So, and we find a safe home here. That is what the refuge is about.
Yeah, and some people run away as well for like government prosecution because maybe your views do not align with the government's views, especially in third world countries where we still have dictators in power and such stuff. Kimsang, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Maurice actually had touched on it a little bit in the word that refugee, the main word in that is refuge. And that's what the United States became for us. A refuge was just a place of safety, a place of shelter from harm, whether that be political harm or physical harm, right? So harm or danger. So, and that's essentially what we are, So I think that was the best way to kind of simplify that is just literally, someone who's seeking shelter, from danger, from harm.
And looking for a new home. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So last summer, early on in the pandemic, some of our choir members faced some acts of racism because of fear associated with the pandemic, people acting out. And so we created a video called Love Letter, where some of our members, you'll see even Kimsang and Maurice in this video, expressing our desire that we want to be a space of loving.
Dearest refugees, my heart goes out to you.
Thank you for your hard work.
You've heard it said many times that this is a nation of refugees, and it is.
I want you to know that you belong.
And I will stand with you.
This is my love letter
to say I've got your back. I'm standing here with you through every attack. No matter what the haters say, I'm glad you're here to make your way. Don't let the pain keep you down. You are strong. You belong. You belong.
I know that many of you have seen way too much suffering, but I also think that it's because of that that you have a unique perspective on how we can all get along better.
From one prior refugee to all my refugee brothers and sisters, please never forget that we are strong, we are resilient, we are full of hope and ambition. We are pioneers, innovators, and dreamers.
You're what helps us be us, the U.S.
This is a particularly tough time.
The whole world is hurting, but it has also afforded us an opportunity
to stop, reflect, and evaluate our racist actions so we can all be a part of the structural change within society.
We have to stand up for those who have been suffering for so long.
Whenever anyone trying to put you down, pick yourself up.
This is my love letter to say I've got your back. Yes. I'm standing here with you through every attack. Yes. No matter what the haters say, I'm glad you're here to make your way. Don't let the pain keep you down. You are strong. You belong. You belong.
I think the change starts with us. It starts in our homes. It starts in our communities. It starts with the ownership of our shared humanity.
It takes so much strength to leave another place to find a new home.
We need to step up for each other. And I make that commitment to you.
I stand in solidarity with you.
Know that there's a great community out here that's ready to embrace you and support you during this horribly difficult time.
You're welcome here. You're needed here. And help us grow into our ideals.
I'm here to do my best to support you, my friend.
Let's work together to make this world a better place for all of us.
This is my love letter to say I got your back. Yeah, I'm standing here with you through every attack. No matter what the haters say, I'm glad you're here to make your way. Don't let the pain keep you down. You are strong. You belong. You are strong. You belong. You are strong. You belong. You belong.
Please join us in showing your support for refugees by creating your own video love letter. You can find examples and more details on how to add your voice at refugeechoir.org. I love seeing all my friends' faces in that. It's so great. Kimsang, we're going to come to you, and I want you to talk about why you think refugees and immigrants are important to our community.
Gosh, I'm still reeling from that video, and that just warms my heart. It's actually just makes me overflowing with love. So, and that video was just, you saw the faces of all the different people from different communities, and a lot of them were refugees like myself, and folks like Maurice and all that. So everybody has like their own song, just like the beginning. Everyone has a song, everyone has a story, everyone has skills, and an asset. Everyone is an asset. So and they are a different asset. So you put it all together and just creates this one beautiful puzzle, right? So to me, that's it just enriches our community just so much more, it just gives our community so much more color, so much more life than, the bland. Otherwise, if you didn't have the folks from, refugees, I equated this. If you didn't have refugees, it would always be a gray, rainy day here in Tacoma and Washington or in the United States, right?
Yeah.
So because of refugees, we have a lot more. It's a country of rainbows.
Yeah.
Or a bit like spice, like how you add a lot of spice to your food.
Spice.
There you go. There you go. I like that too.
Adds a lot of spice to his food. Thierry, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, like what Kimsang says, everyone has a song, everyone has an identity. And for me, like when you ask a question, why are refugees important in our communities? I think I'd like to say that refugees are a wake-up call to people that are sleeping or people who are enclosed into their own cocoons and they don't want to know what is happening outside their bubble. So when you meet a refugee, you should think about the things that we just talked about, or that just what that song has talked about. People that are running away from pain, people that have been outside just your own bubble. And I don't even have to be coming from Africa or Cambodia or from anywhere else. There's refugees that are homeless right here in Tacoma, right? They were evicted from their own home and they're seeking for a better place where to sleep, find shelter. I call those refugees too. And just because you're locked up in your own circle, you don't see all this happening outside your own comfort zone. So I'd like to say that I think refugees are like a wake-up call. And if someone calls me a refugee, like I said from the beginning, my entire life, I've been a refugee since I was a child. I left my country when I was about 9 years old, lived in refugee camps, grew up in a refugee settlement. I left Uganda when I was about 21. So probably I became an adult just as a refugee, right? But it has opened up my eyes to like knowing the value that I also contribute to a society. Wherever I go, I know that, you know what? I am a refugee, but guess what? I'm telling you what you don't know. The world is so much bigger than just your own place. And I have way more skills than you think you put in a box of a refugee. As a refugee, if you open up my Pandora box, oh, you're gonna find a South African song, you'll find a Kenyan song, you find a song from Tacoma Refugee Choir, a Jamaican song, just based off like my culture experience. So there's way more to see inside if you open your heart to like not just viewing someone off the name refugee. So yeah.
Thank you. And something you were starting to touch on that I really appreciate. I've especially seen this. I've seen this from all three of you, but especially Maurice, who has just an incredible storage of compassion for other people. He's often talking about the homelessness or people who are experiencing homelessness, and has a huge heart for others because you've experienced hardship, and so you know what you recognize hardship.
It reflects back to just seeing us growing up, seeing people who were not homeless because of financial reasons, but because their homes were broken down by war, or they moved to another country and they didn't have where to sleep. But we've seen the same things. The homelessness in Africa might not be as extreme as you see here, and that's because you look at a setting in Africa where you're compassionate and you're saying people don't have homes because they're poor. Whereas when you look at United States, you think everyone can afford that income to at least afford a home. But there's people that are homeless, and when you drive around the street and you're like, oh my God, at some point I was homeless because I was running away from war. Now I'm seeing people that were born and raised here and they're homeless too. So you feel that compassion, you feel that you reflect back to where you've been, and you feel empathy for the people that you see as well on the homeless streets.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I love about this next song we're going to share, which is called Life Without Hope. Because when we shared this song for the first time, it was written by one of our choir members named Trezor John. He wrote it about his own refugee experience. But when we shared that in the circle the first time, the sharing that happened both from refugees and immigrants, people talk, but also from members of the community who had lived in Tacoma their entire lives, that that identified with the pain that was expressed. It was a really beautiful moment. So here's Life Without Hope.
These are the cries that I've been hearing every day. Children are crying, mothers are crying. I have lost everyone I know. They're left alone wandering in this world. Oh, what is life without hope? Oh, what is life just to keep running every day? I just wanna hold someone to count on. So please help me to survive. It's been going on like this as long as I can remember. The killing, the torturing, the raping of the innocent. And I don't know how long it's gonna last. Oh, sometimes it's hard to see another day. Oh, what is life without hope? Oh, what is life just to keep running every day? I just wanna hold someone to count on. So please help me to survive, to survive. I hope to be secure from guns and war. I hope to feel the love of community. I hope to see my family united. I hope for peace and change and more. But what is life without hope? Oh, what is life just to keep running every day? I just want somebody, someone to count on. So please help me to survive. Can you share with this with me? Come on, sing one more time. Oh, what is life? Oh, what is life without hope? Oh, what is life just to keep running, running, running? I just want someone to count on. So please help me to survive.
I hear that one, and that one's
That one made me cry. For those that missed it, I mean, when Trey Sorjan premiered that song at rehearsal, I remember my wife was there and she literally cried. I mean, and then, the second time I heard it, I cheered up too. It's just, it has so much meaning, especially for folks that are, that are refugees like us, where, or even like you say, even if it's not refugee from political, from persecution, from war, something like that, just a refugee from the troubles of life, the challenges of life sometimes, the challenges of the body, of health and all that, to find a home, to find, where you feel safe, and that song just it says all that. And the beautiful thing about it was that TRC provided that, so I have to say that.
I mean, trauma can make it hard to feel hope. I mean, we've all experienced some collective trauma over the last year. I'd love to hear how you find hope when things are hard. Can we start with you, Thierry?
I, I don't know, Maurice, can you go first before sorry, I'm just like, I'm just going through emotions for that song. And
yeah, that's true. Yes, but there's so much to say that in few words I won't be able to understand. So you have to have it. We have to have a hope. When you compare it to where we came from, everything we have experienced coming from there, and then you land here, especially the person of color like me, all the challenges we have, encountered here, even someone who came from Asia or from just coming from somewhere and landing here, you have some peace. And then all of a sudden you find other problems. So you have to make this a one extra mile of, patience and hope, because if you do not hope the better thing ahead, what are you gonna do? So you can't give up on yourself. We can't give up on ourselves. And when we are alone, you have it's like you're facing a wall. But when you have a group like the choir, now you have people that you can make that one extra mile every single time you're facing the wall. You walk in an extra mile, keep on walking the extra mile, keep on going. So until the good people will join the movement, we have to dream big. We cannot give up the hope. If not, and then what is next if we don't have hope? Yeah. We just collapse and everything's ended. No, we can't allow that to happen. We have so many challenges, the challenges here. And of course, when we are here, everything's happening, like the Black thing, we are into it. And we're not distant, we are not different from any Black here from anywhere. So we are in the fight. So when we have a good people who join the fight, because we just want to be in peace with everyone else. We are not above anybody and we are not below anybody. We are just, that's a huge human family. That's how I see it.
I love it.
I think for me, for me, I try to create hope. I mean, I always have that thankfulness that, it's cliche, but every day that I wake up is a good day. It's another day of more possibilities. So I'm always thankful for the fact that I'm up and about and moving around. So, because it could definitely be worse. I've experienced that. So the other thing is, I try to make it where I try to make a difference, whether it's from myself or somebody else. So what I end up doing is I've made a commitment, and this is something that I've actually grown, I've matured into after joining Tacoma Refugee Choir. I literally, because of the way the Refugee Choir embraced me, kind of as a representation of Tacoma, really, I ended up taken upon myself that same role. So I literally became a walking welcoming committee. So so whether I'm in Tacoma or Seattle or Oregon or whatever, right? I just want to, I literally become a greeting committee, a welcome committee, where I'm to say that, hey, you're welcome in this space that I'm sharing with you right now. You're welcome. I'm welcome to it. Let's share and be at this space together. So yeah. So I think to me, and I hope that I always make it a point to create that feeling, right? That welcomeness, that hope, that belonging. And I hope that that person or the people that I'm around ends up carrying that with them, and then they pass that on and make it contagious. So that is the hope that I have, and that's the hope I want to create and have people share and spread.
Love that.
There's a lot of contagious hope and love in TRC. That I will not lie. Like, everyone oozes of love and hope and welcoming and beauty. It's so nice. The reason why I think I felt how to speak when that song ended is it took me back to like a child hoping when I grow up, I'm gonna stand up for my mother. I hope that when I grow up, I have a lot of money and I'll buy my mom a car or I'll buy my mom a house. What hope does, it builds these castles in the air for you, that you start making a benchmark and you start believing that it's possible, because I'm hoping that this is what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to give up. I'm going to pursue every opportunity that will come my way, and in order to get that, in order to achieve that. And I'm hoping, I believe that I will get there. And I think for Maurice, like what you were saying before, that when you come into a country, you're not any different from anyone else that you've met there. There's still people struggling, people hoping for a better tomorrow, just like you were hoping for a better tomorrow before you moved here. And when you get here, you get to work because you're like, man, I've been like waiting, I've been hoping for this opportunity to get a job, to go back to school and learn English. Number one step, learn English. I come from Congo. I speak French. I've been hoping to learn English. Like when I get to United States, I can learn some English, finally get a job, and I think when you come into the choir, it embeds all of that, and it's like getting a pizza and it's just like toppings on it, and you're just getting like Cambodian toppings, you get Congolese toppings, you get Erin, you get Tacoma, you get Ken. I mean, and for hope, that just gives it more standard, and you just feel like this is where I belong, and I'm hopeful that regardless of how I found the situation in the United States, that I was hoping for it to be a bed of roses, for it to be rosy and to be full of goods that I dreamt of before I came here, because I was from a worse situation. But regardless of what you find here, you're still hopeful that you're still meeting people like Erin. You're still meeting people that come from different walks of life that are also hopeful for a better tomorrow. And that just shows you that hope is something that keeps on going. Like it's a non-stop war to make the world a better place. And the work that we do and the work that Erin does, I don't think it has a day that it will end. We still have to keep being hopeful that even to the last person or the last human being on earth that doesn't believe in love, hope, and music, we get to change them with every song that we make. That's for me the basis of hope in TRC, for Tacoma, and for the entire world.
Love that. What I appreciate about all three of you and the way you say this is you represent every member of the choir, because I've heard these kind of sentiments. It takes just a little hope in someone expressing a little love and hope, and all of a sudden you start blooming. And it's been beautiful to see all three of you just become more vocal in the community, and to be all that you were, fulfill your potential, and to be the way that you give in the community. It doesn't stop in one place, it ripples out. It's just such a beautiful thing to witness, so I appreciate that. And one of the projects we did this year really demonstrated that for me in a big way. At the just prior to the pandemic, we filmed a music video with about 100 people for the census, and we're gonna play the Be Counted song. But before we play it, Maurice, just tell us what that day was like.
Oh, that was I can't really find the words. That was a day of joy. The day of is just overwhelming, seeing all these people came from different background, different. It was a day of. I felt like I'm proud to be a member of this group. So I don't know what else I can say. We spent a whole day long filming, going through this, in the library and going down to the stair. It was cold, but we didn't feel it until until the end. It was a beautiful day. I felt really my pride. It was okay. I'm not wasting my time being here in this group.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we're going to play that now, and you might see the main branch of the library and our sound engineer, John Hargis, in this. So here we go, Be Counted.
Sometimes I think my voice is just too small. The problem's too big for us to solve. But simple things can change the narrative. One filled with hope and the chance to thrive and live. 10 minutes, 10 questions, 10 years unashamed. I'm taking a moment to participate. Be counted. A better future for my family. Be counted. Money comes to my community. Be counted. I'm represented and can get what we need. Be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted. Oh, be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted. It's just a form, no need to be afraid. It can't be used to hurt you in any way. You have the power for you and neighbors too, to be heard and claim what we are due. 10 minutes, 10 questions, 10 years unashamed. I'm taking a moment to participate. Be counted. A better future for my family. Be counted. Money comes to my community. Be counted. I'm represented and can get what we need. Be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted. Oh, be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted.
Who wants healthcare?
Be counted. Roads and bridges. Be counted.
Jobs and training.
Be counted. Schools for our kids.
Representation.
Be counted. Good nutrition. Be counted.
Parks and housing.
Be counted. You count, so you should be counted. A better future for my family. Be counted. Money comes to my community. Be counted. I'm represented and can get what we need. Be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted. Oh, be counted, be counted. There's power in being counted.
Be counted, be counted. Yeah, I love it. Hey, Kimsang, tell us why these kind of projects are important and what impact you saw on our community from this project, aside from people being counted.
Oh my gosh. Well, just the one word out of that was just pride. Oh my gosh, I was so proud to be a part of that project and just to have the different faces and, you know, folks from all walks of life being a part of that great project. But, you know, outside of just the, you know, that phrase itself, be counted, is meaningful in so many different ways, right? But I think the two most important ways for me was just one, you know, where the main point was just that, you know, you want to be counted for the census so that, you know, we can, the government can literally, you know, divvy out and make sure they send all those our tax money appropriately, right? Help us send money to all the places, all the communities that are needed there. And the other second meeting,
I was counted.
Yeah,
I was counted. I was counted for the
See
first
that?
time
Yeah,
in my
that's
life.
pride, baby.
I was counted.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what, you know. It's that kind of reaction is why we did that project, and it's you know, and obviously the second one, just like Thierry had mentioned, is literally, the second meaning for me was just that, to be counted means to basically to be valued, right? That's pretty much it, to be not just for the monetary money, but just for the individual and what you offer as an individual with all your stories, with all your songs, with all your skills, and all this heritage that you bring to the table. To be counted, it actually inspired me to come up with that. I think I shared it with you a while back, that Erin is like, be seen, be heard, to be helped, right? But I think in this case, to be counted with the way Thierry, had reacted was be seen, be heard, and then you will help build a better community.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm part of Tacoma. I don't want to be missed. I want to be counted. I was counted. That's all I say. I was happy to be counted. I'm just, yeah.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. So we have taken this project and started doing some other projects. We just did a campaign called Share Culture, Not COVID, where we created 3 videos, and we're going to share one of them, which we did with the Asia Pacific Cultural Center. Do you want to add anything, Kim?
No, I just like it kind of build up on that census where we had, like I said, we had all these folks from different communities. This one was another representation, just a great example of another part of our community that that has to be counted, right? And they came together and represented to send the message to their communities and to the greater community at large. So I'm proud of this project as well.
I love it. So here's Ufi Mata, which featured members of the Samoan community and in partnership with Asia Pacific Cultural Center.
I can still feel all of your love, though we may be miles apart. Even when I cannot hold you, I hold you close to my heart. Doesn't matter what the distance, I want you healthy and safe. So whenever we're together, I'm gonna cover my face. It's not fashion, it's compassion. The best way to show my love is put it on. Do it for yourself and everyone. Put it on, put it on. Do it for the ones you dearly love. Put it on, put it on. All it takes is just one smile and you light up my whole life. Can't see your mouth, doesn't matter, I can still see your eyes. You're a covered girl, even when you're covered, girl. No mask can hide that away. That's why I say, oh, do it for yourself and everyone. Yeah, put it on, put it on. Oh, yeah, do it for the ones you dearly love. Yeah, put it on, put it on. Hey, hey, do it for yourself, do it for yourself. Hey, put it on, put it on, put it on, put it on. Hey, do it for me and for you, baby. Oh, yeah, put it on.
That song makes me want to dance so much. It's just
I love it from the day he presented that song. I just love it. And I love the way he sings. It's so simple. So
with a lot of passion too. He's I think this project, because this is one of the projects that I met. Like I've been here in this project. I am a TRC COVID baby, so I joined TRC during the COVID time. I have never been grateful to have a job that means so much to me, like the job that I got with TRC. It's not just a job for me, it's part of me, part of what I want to be in the future.
It's not a job.
It's not. To be honest, it's part of like my journey. I remember having like conversations with Erin. I was just like, you have no idea. This is just put me in. Like this is like where I belong. It's like what I want to do. It's my journey. And part of that was because like along the way or along the journey, you start discovering your strengths, because you've been demonized in so many ways, you've been belittled in so many ways, but along that journey, you start realizing your strengths that you can bring onto the table. And you start, because now that you're hiding in a dark corner, you start seeing potentials of so much that is missing. And you're like, these people don't even know that I can do this. These people don't know that I can do that, and the power in bringing communities together, especially communities of like big diversity like United States. I don't know if there's any other country in the world that has as much diversity as United States has. I don't know. Just growing up as a child, seeing soldiers from the UN or coming into Congo to serve people and stuff, like you could see Asians, I see Black, I'm like, this is where I want to go. I want to be an American and I'll be happy there. Like I'll make a life. Like that was just a childish idea, but that was a representation of United States. Like that's what United States represents to the entire world is the diversity, is the power and ability to make everyone be who they are and to collectively come together and fight challenges that the world is facing. So us being lagging behind in COVID is such a shame. So working together again to fight that just represents again how strong the bond of diversity can create. And I think that's a very powerful project that Erin embarked to do in such a short time. And I've been there to see the work behind the curtains, pulling out all those videos and collecting people in the songs and the work that has been put into this, and everyone, Kimsang, Maurice, getting the funds. It's been an amazing journey. So
I actually, Thierry, you actually inspired me for another phrase, and it's just a way to simplify it. TRC is as a good representation of the United States at large, really. We sometimes forget, with all the challenges that we had as a country because of the color of our skin, and our backgrounds and all that. A lot of us, I think the attention was focused wrong. I think, for us, I think they should refocus attention to what TRC represents. With TRC, the folks in our choir are different, and to be different is to be American.
Right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I love that. To be different is to be American.
American.
Oh, you should put that on a T-shirt.
I know. I got to write this stuff down. I'm telling you, I got to write this stuff down.
I love it.
I'm gonna make the T-shirts for you and sell them. Yeah, we catch that. No, but that's true. To be different is to be American. That really, really sits down really right. Even when you think about it, like, I'm different, but I've always wanted to be American, and I am here contributing to the state and to the well-being of my society. Even though I'm a refugee, it doesn't limit me to contribute, to connect with people that are born here, and shine the light towards what I've seen in life and contribute to my community in the same way, or try and reach out to communities that have different opinions because, or maybe they're scared, or they don't belong, they feel like they don't belong. But just telling them that being different is being American. Amazing.
All right. I got a permanent marker in my room. I want to write it down on my shirt.
I love it. So one of the things, I mean, I didn't thank Tacoma Pierce County Health Department, by the way, for helping us make those videos. But I thought it was interesting that we partner with the health department, and then our mission statement literally says creating spaces for authentic expression, interconnection, and healing through song and music. And so as we start to wrap this up, I want to talk about healing a little bit and why the experiences we have together are so healing for us as individuals and as a community.
Can I take on this? Because I think for me, because I feel it, you know, I've definitely, just like my brothers here, Maurice and Thierry, you know, and a lot of the whole country, you know, we've definitely needed healing, whether it's emotionally or whether it's physically, we've definitely needed. And sometimes, you know, with the need for healing, sometimes it feels really, really lonely, because you can, sometimes you don't think that people can relate to what you're feeling in terms of that need for, you know, for that healing. I think with, again, I'm going to keep going back. I know, I don't know if there's a big infomercial for TRC, but it should be, because I think what we do as a group should be done as a community, whether it's a Tacoma community, whether it's a Pierce County community, a Washington State, a United States community, you know, is to provide that welcoming, that support, you know, thanks to TRC, you know, the members of TRC constantly check up on each other. Maurice checks up on me regularly just to see how I'm doing, and of course, you know, then I got to check up on him too. So, but you know, Thierry checks in with emails and texts as well. So, obviously, you, Diane. I mean, that's just a small sampling, and it's just inspiring. It's just heartwarming. You know, I go back to what Maurice said earlier about the census. You know. When we did that census video, it was cold outside, but he couldn't tell it because his heart was so warm, you know, it warmed his body. He couldn't feel the cold. And that's the way it is with healing. You know, sometimes, you know, your body aches and, you know, I kind of, you know, I was looking at it, and I was looking at that video we shared earlier about welcome the love letter, and I was looking at myself
your hair,
and I missed that, you know. So
what happened to your hair?
I know. So for those out there that don't know, so I did go through chemo. I'm still going through chemotherapy treatment, and you know, it's a lot. It's wears down on your body, it challenges your body quite a bit. So and sometimes it'll challenge your soul, challenge your heart too. But you know, you guys, you know, TRC, the represent you, my family, you know, help heal my heart, help heal my mind, and therefore my mind and my heart just drags my body with it and makes it heal. So I really credit you guys. Thank you.
You know, Kimsang, you know, healing is so big, because when you talk about wounds, there's wounds that people think they might not heal. There's problems that you face in life, and they just leave a scar so deep that you don't know how to heal. But I think healing requires like a leader. It requires someone that is guiding you to that path of healing. Like, I think like we find healing in TRC and find love, because again, I know she said don't say this, but we have such an amazing leader in TRC that she's checking in on everyone, and she makes us do the best within ourselves, makes us believe when we do not believe in ourselves, gives us hope, enforces love on us. Erin will enforce love on you. With that smile, she will always make you smile, even when you're having a bad day. You know, she always knows what to say when in all situations. And I feel like that goes along to say, even a country as a whole, to heal, it starts from the top. Like, you have a good leader, that shows by example, that guides you towards that path of healing. And exactly that's what's going to happen. You're going to heal. But if we are all tribal in nature, human beings, we are all tribal in nature. We all have different colors, for Christ's sakes, and we're still fighting about simple color of our skins, and we're forgetting about all the things that we face as challenges as human beings: daily food, daily financial problems, war back home, people that have kids that cannot even see them because maybe they were incarcerated. We have soldiers going to fight for our own freedom, United States, outside United States, and they leave their families for months, years, and you never think about what that does to a man who goes away for 7 months and they leave their family. You never think about the doctors who have been in the hospitals day in and day out, like fighting COVID. How many people they've lost. You don't think about your friends that hasn't said anything, that lost their son of COVID, or they lost their mother of COVID. You haven't thought about your neighbor who's going through a challenge. He doesn't know whether their mom or their sister will survive of COVID, and I think for me, like, we need to take that as like each one of us needs to feel like we are the ones leading our community. We are the ones leading our society. And you can see the same example with Erin leading us, with so many different people from different walks of life, different kinds of wounds, creating songs together and creating that space where we can speak and feel free and heal. And then it creates that, and you can be like, oh, in a month I was feeling really low, but now I'm full of energy. I can sing, I can talk. Oh, now I believe in myself. I can dance again. And I think that's what the country needs, really. The country right now needs that. We need a leader that is going to guide us towards a path of healing. We need people to step up to guide the whole country towards healing. No matter what you believe in, no matter the challenges, no matter what you feel is not right, it is way more important for the whole country to be one than to break apart. Because once we do that, then we won't even be the place that people like me and children or mothers that are right now running away in the war or being killed have hope to come here, because then they don't see reason to seek refuge here. And yet we should be that home. We should be that place to offer that healing, to guide the world to the next place and what the future requires of us. So I still have those fundamentals in myself, and I want to say I healed when I came here, but in a few years or few months, it's just been quite, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to put it, but I have hope. I have hope, which is what we were talking about today. I'm hopeful that tomorrow is going to be better. I'm hopeful in my friends. I'm hopeful in the people around me and my community. Tacoma has been an amazing place for me since I came here, and it just keeps giving me more and more than I expected or than I asked for. Yeah.
Thank
you know what?
You guys both broke the rules, by the way. You're supposed to talk about me. So you guys.
She will not be said. She will not be named.
But
she will not be named.
It's all of us together, because I really truly can't do any of this alone. I can't do anything without my community. So we're going to be taking some questions here in a little bit. So feel free to send those questions in, but I'm going to give you guys each an opportunity to share a final remark before we pull things together. We'll sing "Everyone Can Love Someone," and then we'll stick around for some questions here. So Maurice, do you want to start for us?
That's the closing statement?
Yeah.
That's what you call it? Okay.
Anything you want to add that we didn't get to?
I'm just saying that this country, America, has fed me for all these years I've been here. I was able to provide for my family back home and my kids here, to raise the kids. 5 kids, but I also have some additional kids I don't mention here. They are from different countries that I took on my wings. So when I have 5 kids, but in reality, I have 7 to raise from different countries. So this country has fed me, but the love that I have found in the choir is a different kind of love. So now I have something that instead of just going to work and hang out with my family, I have something I don't call work, I don't call a job. It's like a state of, it's a being, it's a family, you know. And I'm not saying this lightly. People who were strangers yesterday were strangers, today became family. Maybe I haven't met you in a store. I know Kimsang or Erin. Maybe I met you somewhere, I did not know you, but now we became family, right? And it really, the things I went through here to see how you guys been helping me mentally and physically, that gives me also the desire to help someone else, to be involved in anything in this community, because I want to make this place a better place for us. So we've been accepted here. It's up to us to also offer our, whatever we can do to help this place to be a better place. We are, up to it.
I'd like to add to that. I think for me, I actually wanted to follow up with Thierry too, and what Maurice said was that, with TRC's Tuesday rehearsal. So for those out there that are curious, check out our website, right? Is it refugeechoir.org?
Yes.
Yeah, check it out, or look at Tacoma Refugee Choir on Facebook. I know I should tattoo it on my arm just to represent if I really love TRC. But I think with what Thierry said, in terms about leadership, good leaders also enable others to be leaders as well. And so, that's the thing that we have to take upon ourselves, that we are all leaders, right? We're leaders in our life, but we are also leaders in our community. So we should, live like that. We just lead by example. So you don't have to say, you don't need a label that says you're a leader. You can lead by example, right? So you continue to be the good person you are and try to spread that, try to spread that goodness. This past few years, our country's been, the people in our country are good people, right? But we've been in a haze. So it's up to us to help guide these folks out of the haze and let them see clearly and, see the beauty and all the differences that we have here. So I think that's, for me to finish up on my statement is literally just, everybody's a leader, lead by example, be good and lead the way with goodness. And join us on Tuesdays rehearsals. You don't have to learn, you don't have to know how to sing. Just look at Maurice. We still take them.
I wish people hear me singing. It's like a frog.
No, you know what? Let me say. I think for me, I'll wrap up by saying, by just saying things that I love about Tacoma. All right. So I moved here in 2016, and I started naming the things that I loved about Tacoma. The very first thing that I loved about Tacoma was that it offered a car museum, so I could experience different cars from like the 60s all the way, cars that I just saw in movies, or like, I was like, I want to see that car in real time. The hospitals, people that were just like, when you look up online about Tacoma, the friendliest people in the world, in United States, Washington. And guess what? They are the people that helped my mom to heal. They are the people that gave me a home here. They are the people that guided me to get work. They are the same people that guided me to Erin, the Tacoma Refugee Choir. And then I was so fortunate, I landed on a group of community of young, how can I call them? Like, they are they're not like in their teens, they're like in their between 20s and 30s. And it's just a group of people in Tacoma, and they just spread love. That's all they do. They spread love and they support each other. They'll show up to events. They will give you that space to talk about who you are. They will push you to meet other people and connect you. And and I was like, even back home, I don't think I've ever like been in a place where like I received that much intensity of like people supporting. Hey, come on, let's go. You need to meet people. You need to get out of the house. United States is different. It's cold. It's what, but you have to like go out and sing and eat and what you like, what you like, what do you know? And I will always say, oh, I've always liked seafood, but I'm like skeptical. Shrimp, I don't know. Crab, I don't know, but you know, but they forced me to go out and do those things. So I want to shout out to like Tacoma for being that place of like they supported their community and forced me to go out there and do things, and that kind of woke up my spirit of adventure that was hiding. I'm like, I don't know if I'm like comfortable doing this here. No,
You
they
got out
made
of your
me feel
cocoon.
welcome. Yeah, they made me feel welcome. They pushed me to open up. They welcomed me and gave me love. And then once I started pursuing each and one of all those jobs that were given to me, I ended up meeting Maurice, and Erin is like, no, I know like 6, 7 Congolese. I'm like, how? I've been in Tacoma for 2 years and I don't even know any Congolese. And she's like, oh yeah.
Oh, I think I know over 30 now.
She's like, I know a lot of Congolese. I know a lot of this. I know, and I'm like, okay. And then when you come to the Tacoma Refugee Choir, it's not just like, it's when you hear the word Tacoma Refugee Choir, you might be confused and thinking, oh, this is a bunch of refugees singing. No. It's a bunch of amazing human beings from all walks of life. People from Tacoma, people from Africa, people from
Brazil.
We've had, and we just share music. It's just a good time, share a nice song, enjoy each other, offer healing and space for love and growth and giving each other hope for tomorrow. And I feel like if you're looking for anything to teach you about love and hope during the entire pandemic, you were nowhere if you were not in Tacoma Refugee Choir. Yeah.
I love it. You guys are the best. I really appreciate so much of what you've shared. I have to agree. I love Tacoma myself. I just think Tacoma has become just a beautiful place. And one of the things I love is all the great organizations that come together to make this community such a safe and beautiful place for so many, including Tacoma Public Library. We've been so honored to be part of this program and appreciate you joining us and hope to continue doing programming together. I want to just leave a head out. We have some plans this year, so you'll want to watch out. We're planning a big concert. We're the return of live music in a very COVID safe way. You're going to have to stay tuned for that public announcement, but it's definitely not something you're going to want to miss in May. But I just want to again thank Tacoma Public Library for having us here tonight and for the opportunity to share our stories and to share these 3 amazing members of the choir, which are representative of many, many more who continue to inspire me. I'll say that people will sometimes say, Erin, you've done a good thing, and you guys try to praise me, but ultimately, I feel like I gain so much more than ever I give. So if it's a really beautiful place where everyone gives, and I love that. We are going to end with a song that we sing every single rehearsal. It's our theme song, Everyone Can Love Someone. And we hope you can take the messages of today and feel that love and hope and share it in the ripples of the way you share in the world.
Can you stand up a little bit, please? Just stand up, stand up. Everybody. Yeah, oh, come on, clap your hands. I wanna see ya. Yeah, oh, yeah.